Hola amigos, bienvenidos a Insercoin, soy Jaimix y hoy vamos a jugar a Freddy Pharkas, Farmacéutico de la Frontera. Vamos a continuar con nuestra guía, empezando con el segundo acto.
So Freddy was forced to shut down the old pharmacy against his will, but he vowed to keep the place up, knowing that someday he'd be opening it up again. Problem being, the sheriff, an ornery cuss if there ever was one, was doing this all over town. The hotel, the playhouse, the smithy, the tall and thin shop, closing them all down on some flimsy pretext. There was no telling who was going to be next. Who'd put the sheriff up to it? And what was happening with the horses, for crying out loud? It were a mystery, says I.
Comenzamos este segundo acto en la puerta de la farmacia, pero nos vamos a volver a meter adentro, ya que vamos a investigar un poco más el fondo de la farmacia, que en el primer acto prácticamente solamente lo hemos utilizado para crear los distintos medicamentos. Pero hay más cosas que rebuscar y que investigar, así que nos vamos a meter en la zona del fondo. Para ello abrimos, como siempre, la parte esa de la mesa que tenemos ahí. Y lo que vamos a hacer es subir estas escaleras que nos encontramos aquí a la derecha, con lo cual vamos a llegar al dormitorio de Freddy. Aquí vamos a abrir este baúl.
You take your old gunslinger clothes and your good guy model Stetson hat.
Y cogemos ese traje. Y ahora también vamos a coger el cajón de la mesita de noche. Lo abrimos y cogemos la llave que se encuentra ahí. Abrimos el cajón de la derecha y vamos a coger un recibo de la casa de empeño.
You pick up the claim check, your hand trembling with the memory of the last time you wore the boots that you traded for it. That monster, Kenny the Kid, looking down at you and laughing as your ear bled in the hot sun. You put those boots away, never to wear them again. And when you moved to Coarse Gold, you sent them to be cleaned and polished. That was years ago. They've probably been lost or thrown away by now.
Vale, ahora nos volvemos a ir a la zona de abajo, vamos a bajar las escaleras y ahí también hay algunos objetos para recoger. Lo que vamos a hacer es bajarnos y nos vamos a ir al escritorio. Lo vamos a abrir, que es un escritorio de estos de persiana, y vamos a encontrar un cajón, y dentro del cajón vamos a encontrar unas cartas de nuestro difunto amigo Phil Graves.
You unlock the desk drawer. It's an old letter, cobwebbed, yellowed, and faded.
Score!
You take the letter out of the drawer. You received this letter a few years back from your recently dearly departed friend, Phil Graves.
Dear Freddy, thank you so very kindly for your gracious hospitality during my recent convalescence. The floor of your workroom proved a comfortable bed, and the stale pharmacy goods you fed me staved off starvation quite adequately. I must admit to being a little curious of your request that I retain your safety deposit key for you. I cannot imagine what you have secured in that bank vault that could create such strong feelings of both revulsion and endearment. However, I have done as you asked and taken your key with me. I vow to you I will never return this key to you, nor even allow it within your sight. I further swear to keep it with me wherever I go. On this you have my word of honor, for I am ever your friend, Philip D. Graves.
Ya hemos terminado de momento en la farmacia y ahora lo que tenemos que hacer es solucionar el problema que le está acechando a la localidad, y es el problema de las flatulencias venenosas de los distintos caballos que se encuentran en en la ciudad. Así que nos vamos a salir de la farmacia y nos vamos a ir a la izquierda del todo del pueblo. De camino nos vamos a meter en el local de Chester y vamos a coger una bolsa de papel que se encuentra encima del mostrador.
The door swings open. From the back you hear Chester's voice.
Help yourself. I'll be right out.
Hey there, Willie.
That's whittling, Willie, to you, son. Respect your elders.
Sorry.
Forget about it. Just get out of here. I'm whittling.
Score! You take a complimentary paper bag.
Continuamos hacia la izquierda hasta que lleguemos a la zona del local del herrero. Y ahí vamos a coger una serie de objetos con la que vamos a hacernos una máscara antigas. Vamos a coger la soga. El cinturón que se encuentra ahí.
You take the leather strap. Smithy won't be needing it now, wherever he is. That just Score! You take the rope. Now that Smithy's closed up shop, he won't be missing it.
Y por último, carbón.
Digging through Smithy's formerly white-hot forge, you find an unused hunk of charcoal which you decide may well be of use to you. So you keep it.
Ahora lo que hacemos es utilizar el picahielo con la lata. Esto va a crear un agujero, metemos el carbón dentro de la lata y pasamos el cinturón, con lo que conseguimos hacer nuestras máscaras antigas.
With all the precision of a serial killer, you deftly poke some holes in the tin can with the ice pick. Ha! Having accomplished your immediate desire, and in the process hopelessly dulling the ice pick, you exhibit absolutely no regard for this barren piece of locality laughingly called the environment by brazenly tossing the ice pick away. You're such a consumer. Score! You drop the charcoal into the tin can. Now we're getting somewhere. Score! You slip the leather strap through the holes in the tin can. They fit perfectly. Congrats! You always wanted a tin feed bag. Score! Score! You take a few deep breaths from the gas mask, clearing your head and enabling you to go on a while longer.
Ya tenemos nuestra máscara antigas y hasta que solucionemos el problema de la flatulencia vamos a tener que ponérnosla cada cierto tiempo, cada poco, para evitar morir por la peste. Así que cada poco nos la colocamos. Ahora lo que tenemos que conseguir es analizar las flatulencias para ver cuál es el problema y por qué es tan tóxico y por qué todos los caballos tienen ese problema. Para ello tenemos que recogerla con la bolsa de papel que hemos conseguido antes en el local de Chester.
You're beginning to feel a little lightheaded. Better use your gas mask.
Esto es un poco complicadete y hay que hacerlo en un momento justo y hay que ponerse detrás de un caballo, no tiene por qué ser esto.
You take a few deep breaths from the gas mask, clearing your head and enabling you to go on a while longer.
Sino cualquiera de los que nos encontramos a lo largo del pueblo y esperar a que la cola se le levante y entonces aplicarle en el trasero la bolsa. Teniendo en cuenta también que cada poco habrá que volver a ponerse la máscara antigas para evitar morir.
You're beginning to feel a... You take a few... Score! In what may well be the most revolting idea you've ever had, you hold the brown paper sack up to the horse's anal sphincter and wait. With a reverberating the horse responds, inflating your bag with a foul sample of gas. You quickly twist the bag shut to lock in freshness.
Ya tenemos nuestra bolsa con su apestoso contenido.
You're beginning to feel a little lightheaded. Better use your gas mask.
Y ahora nos vamos a ir hacia la farmacia para poder analizarlo. Así que nos vamos a la farmacia y nos vamos a la habitación del fondo.
You take a few...
Ya estamos en la farmacia, nos vamos a la habitación del fondo y lo que tenemos que hacer es utilizar el elixir que habíamos conseguido en el primer acto con la lámpara de alcohol. Cogemos la cerilla, la encendemos, o sea, encendemos la lámpara con las cerillas.
Score! You fill the alcohol lamp with Dadgum's alcoholic elixir. This is where...
Y ponemos encima el espectroscopio gaseoso y la bolsa en él.
This is where you concoct all your...
Con ello vamos a conseguir analizarlo y llegaremos a la conclusión de que la solución será citrato aminofílico.
Good idea, Freddy. The spectrum lines on that etched glass viewer reveal volumes to those who know how to read. Score!
Para preparar dicho citrato, mezclamos 40 gramos de bicarbonato de sodio con 15 mililitros de furaclordono en el vaso de precipitado. Luego agregamos 45 mililitros de agua, 5 gramos de sulfato de magnesio, mezclamos con el bastoncillo y preparamos una nueva botellita que, como siempre, taparemos con el tapón de corcho.
This is... This is where... You carefully label the jar aminophilic citrate. Congratulations, you've just created your first batch of Farkas's deflatulizer.
Y con esto hemos conseguido la solución para las flatulencias de los caballos. Ahora simplemente lo pondremos en cualquiera de los abrevaderos de caballos que nos encontramos a lo largo del pueblo y este primer problema de este segundo gasto se estará solucionado.
You carefully pour the deflatulizer into the horse's water trough. The horses greedily lap up the delish and nutrish medicated trough water.
Seeing as how his home-brewed patootie sealant done the trick on these horses, Freddy ran round and dumped the stuff into all the horse troughs in town. It weren't long before the folks of Coarse Gold was all breathing a sigh of relief. Freddy tossed away his homemade gas mask. Kind of a shame, too, since he could have made a purty penny off the patent rights. Life returned to normal, for a short spell, any hooch, until one lazy day when one of the local inbreds came a-running up with the latest calamity.
Board up your windows and doors. Lock up the women and children. Run for the border, Louise. There's a stampede a-coming. A stampede! Hurry up, Freddy. You only got a week and a half before they get here.
A week and a half?
They's snails!
Snails? Snails?
Good heavens! This is the worst thing to happen to Coarse Gold since the great hail of clams back in '83.
Bien, pues la siguiente problemática que tenemos en el pueblo es muy curiosa, ya que se trata de una estampida de caracoles. Para ver esa estampida tenemos que irnos incluso más a la izquierda de donde se encontraba el local del herrero. Así que nos vamos a ir a esa zona aprovechando nuestro camino de ida para meternos en el salón y conseguir unas botellas de cerveza, para lo cual simplemente daremos el dinero que tenemos en el inventario al barman y este nos va a dar una serie de botellas de cerveza.
That just...
Score! Hey, Sam, give me a case of the beer you just got in from St. Louis.
One case of lowbrow for the pharmacist, coming right up.
Sam hands you a case of lowbrow, the beer that gave St. Louis blues.
Now, you know that this beer doesn't come corked, right? They're using some newfangled pinched metal tops.
No problem, Sam. I'll take care of it.
All right, fine. That'll be $4.87.
Here you go.
Nice bankroll. Come back anytime.
Ya tenemos nuestra cerveza, seguimos hacia la izquierda y hay que tener en cuenta que justo después de la zona donde se encuentra el local del herrero tenemos que cruzar un puente. Ese puente se encuentra en muy mal estado y entonces hay que intentar evitar cruzarlo demasiadas veces. Así que esta parte de aquí de la aventura en la que tengamos que pasar por este puente hay que ir con cierto cuidado de no pasar demasiado.
That was a close one. Considering the condition of this old bridge, you may only have about 3 crossings left.
Seguimos avanzando y nos vamos a encontrar en una zona ya de las afueras y a la izquierda del todo vamos a ver que se encuentra una humareda que es la famosa estampida de caracoles.
These snails are the leading edge of a stampede of imported French escargot recently escaped from a haughty San Francisco restaurant being chased by a posse of snooty San Francisco chefs. They appear to stretch to the horizon and they're heading straight for town. If you don't do something soon to prevent them, they'll slime the entire city.
Antes de intentar solucionar el problema nos vamos a acercar y vamos a coger uno de los caracoles que luego se lo vamos a entregar a Mom para que lo añada al menú de su local.
You grab a couple of snails from the front of the pack while imagining the aroma of warm, drawn butter.
Nos vamos hasta el café, le entregamos el caracol para que pueda cocinarlo y nos volvemos de nuevo a esta zona.
That just does.
Helen, have you ever thought of putting escargot on the menu?
Huh. Don't know who around here will eat these since they don't give you gas, but I'll put them in a bag of cornstarch and think about it. And I suppose thank you is in order, so thank you. Score.
Para acabar con los caracoles lo que tenemos que hacer es emborracharlos. Y para eso vamos a utilizar las botellas de cerveza que habíamos comprado antes. Pero si os acordáis, nos habían dicho que estas botellas venían con una chapa metálica. Y no tenemos abrechapa. Así que lo que vamos a utilizar es la llave de la iglesia, que tiene una sospechosa forma muy similar a lo que sería una abrechapa, y es lo que nos va a permitir abrir las botellas de cerveza. Después las utilizaremos con los caracoles y en un pequeño homenaje a los lemmings veremos cómo los caracoles con la borrachera se van a suicidar ellos solos.
With muscles bulging from years of grappling with child-proof caps, you deftly wield the church key and wrench the tops from all the beer bottles.
Score!
Hey boys, it's Miller time!
And with that, you cleverly pour bottle after bottle of Sam Andreas's St. Louis brew into the dusty road in an attempt to divert the stampede. Will it work? Will the snails fall for your ruse? Will they accept a domestic? Slurping their little hearts out, if snails may be said to slurp, or to have hearts for that matter, the little guys follow your lead straight over to the cliff beside Blackwater Creek. Isn't that cute? They're so gullible. Don't they look just like little lemmings marching over that cliff?
De vuelta a la escena principal, vemos que encima de ese hormiguero hay un hindú que parece que está en problemas, así que vamos a hablar con él.
Look out, Freddy. Engines! No, wait. This one's an Indian. A real Indian. From India. He sits atop an ant hill surrounded by swarms of ants looking trapped. You feel sorry for him. If there were only some way you could help him.
Hello, stranger. I haven't seen you around these parts before. I know it's none of my business, but why are you sitting on top of an active anthill in the heat of this semi-desert sun?
Oh, my formal fellow, I am but a weary traveler from a land far, far away, journeying here peacefully merely to experience the curative powers of your local mineral waters. The other members of my stagecoach party, claiming a frustration with my excessive verbosity and sesquipedalian inclinations, forcefully placed me in my current sitting position on this lovely feature of your landscape, knowing full well that because of religious reasons I would be unable to climb down by myself.
How cruel those Yosemite-bound tourists are. My name is Freddy Pharkas. I own the local pharmacy here in Coursegold.
How do you do, Mr. Farkas? My name is Srini Lalkaka Bagnish. Pardon me if I don't get up.
I've been considering taking on a loyal Indian sidekick. I'm seeking a new assistant down at the pharmacy. Would you be considering a relocation to this area? You know, Coursegold offers extremely reasonable housing costs and an abundance of sunny weather, and is close to schools and churches.
Well, no, not really, but yes. Perhaps I would be willing, but as you can readily see, I'm quite busy at this current moment.
Have you considered climbing down and walking away?
I cannot possibly do that. Life is sacred. If I were to move, I should indubitably injure some of these small six-legged life forms. I'm sure someone will come along soon to the aid of me.
I'll see what I can do, Srini.
Pues para salvarlo, lo único que hay que hacer es utilizar la escalera que tenemos en nuestro inventario.
I've got it, Srini. I know how I can help you. Here you go, partner. Hoof your way across this.
Score! Oh, my balance sense is stretching now.
You made it!
Oh, thank you, Mr. P. You saved me.
Please don't call me that.
Thank you again, Mr. F. I am so much grateful.
Oh? Grateful enough to accept the assistant's position I mentioned earlier? I could really use some help around the shop.
I would be honored. Where do I begin?
So Freddy headed on back to the pharmacy, followed by the eternally grateful Srini Lakaka Bagnish. Seems like Freddy not only found himself a new assistant at the pharmacy, but also a good friend as well.
So as my assistant, I want you to help me around the store, clean up, you know, the usual chores.
Oh, I would be highly gratuitous of your bending over to display me such a position. Would you be offering as well a form of payment?
I'll pay you 10 cents a day and all the Rustler's Stove chocolates you can eat.
That is an agreement.
Excellent. What was your name again?
Srini Lakaka Bagnish. But you may call me Srini, and I will be calling you Freddy. Okay?
Okay, now let's get cracking, Srini. I'd like you to go out there and create some nice displays for the skin lotions. We may be closed temporarily, but we'll be opening sooner or later, and we've got to be ready.
What it is, Freddy. I will be getting on that now.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini? I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
Okidoki.
Una vez que está rescatado Srini, nos vamos a volver a la zona donde se encontraba el hormiguero para poder rescatar la escalera que vamos a necesitar más adelante.
Now get!
A few buzzards have landed here, waiting for some unfortunate life form to become vulture chow. Cedric the owl looks lost and out of place in the hot desert sun. If you listen close, you can almost hear him say,
"Freddy, if you're going to go in there, I'm going to wait out here."
He always has some flimsy excuse.
Ya tenemos la escalera, nos volvemos a la zona por donde se encuentra la farmacia, aunque de momento no vamos a entrar en ella de nuevo.
Poor Cedric the owl. He'll never delay another scene change.
Ahora nos tocará resolver un nuevo problema, que es la contaminación del agua del pueblo. Vamos a irnos a la zona donde se encuentra la farmacia. De camino que vamos por allí, vamos a coger los sacos de bicarbonato que nos habrán dejado en la puerta, pero girando y yendo a la zona de la escuela, nos iremos a donde se encuentra el tanque de agua. Y una vez allí vamos a ver que al lado está un retrete y que hay una cola enorme. Vamos a ver y comprobar que el problema se encuentra en que el agua está contaminada y tendremos que buscar una solución.
Score! Summoning up superhuman strength, you heft the huge pile of baking soda. Then, with a horrible wrenching, tearing sound, you cram the sacks of baking soda into your pants pocket. The town's only working outhouse stands here. Holy cow, you've never seen such a long line at the outhouse.
Something's rotten in the state of Corscold's bowels.
Para comprobar qué es lo que pasa, vamos a abrir el grifo del tanque y utilizar las botellas de cerveza vacías para probar un poquito.
You turn the faucet on and water gushes out.
Score!
You carefully fill one of your empty beer bottles with water from the tower. You take a swig of the water from the water tower. Uh-oh. Your stomach starts to make strange sounds. Your small intestine begins to whine. Your lower intestine starts complaining loudly.
Hey, buddy, no cutting. It's people like you that give people like you a bad name.
Well, howdy, Mr. Farkas. I was just leaving, I swear. Give me one more minute.
Perfectly okay, Billy. No need to get up. Just scoot over a little.
Well, Jeez, Mr. Farkas, invade my personal space, why don't you?
A few moments later, you emerge feeling refreshed.
Gee, that water's got a nasty kick to it.
You wash your hands, a feeling wholly unfamiliar to you.
Pues está claro que hay un problema grave con el agua del pueblo, así que nos vamos a volver a la farmacia y lo que vamos a hacer es preparar bisalicilato de antitoxidina para conseguir volver a recuperar la salubridad del agua. Así que, como siempre, nos vamos a nuestra zona de preparar potingue.
You return.
Yep.
It is good to look upon your eternally smiling countenance of face again.
Yeah, I've missed you too.
This is where you can... This is...
En esta ocasión lo que vamos a hacer es mezclar 25 mililitros de susalicilato de bismuto y 5 mililitros de orfenametidrililo en un vaso de precipitado y lo vamos a calentar con la lámpara de alcohol y eso va a hacer que además se mezcle. Y después pues lo ponemos en nuestra correspondiente botella con su tapón y ya podremos ir de nuevo al tanque para conseguir volver a hacer potable el agua.
The chemical warms slowly over the alcohol lamp. Now it's getting pretty hot. Good thing your calluses are thick. Chemical rapidly reaches a full rolling boil. You carefully label the bottle bisalicylate antitoxidine. Congratulations! Be careful, this stuff is mighty concentrated.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini? I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
Okie dokie.
Nos volvemos a la zona del tanque y ahora lo que tenemos que conseguir es llenar o echar el contenido de nuestra nueva medicina dentro del tanque. Para ello vamos a hacer uso de la escalera que hemos rescatado, la ponemos en un lateral, subimos hasta la primera zona, volvemos a coger la escalera y llegamos hasta el techo del tanque. Y una vez allí encontraremos una pequeña tapilla que podremos abrir y verter el contenido de nuestra solución dentro del tanque.
You grab the ladder.
Score!
Remembering your father's advice about never using the topmost rungs of a ladder, you stop just short of the ladder top. That just give yourself that just doesn't work like that. That there's a short, strong metal.
Para llegar al techo, lo que tendremos que hacer también es utilizar la cuerda, y para ello tenemos que crear un lazo, y en vez de insistir con la cuerda en la parte de arriba, hay que meterse dentro del inventario y utilizar el lazo.
With a few quick movements, you make an authentic Western lasso out of the rope. It's like falling off a log. Once you learn how, you never forget.
Score!
You snare the tower top. The crowd eats it up.
Who's the schmuck with the rope?
Be careful you don't put an eye out.
Score!
As you reach the top of the water tower, the crowd cheers.
Thank God, it's Freddy!
We're #1! We're #1!
What are you gonna do now, Freddy?
I'm going to Sierra Land!
Boing! That one hit a 9.0 on the free plug-o-meter. You carefully pour the purification solution into the town's water supply. Excellent job.
It weren't more than a few hours before the folks of Coarse Gold was feeling a whole heck of a lot better. Their bowels were all settled down and happy. Freddy knew he could relax now. Everything was calm and peaceful. But round about midnight, that very same night, trouble struck again. Freddy was in his own bed, sound asleep, when...
Fire! Fire, Freddy Pharkas! Please come urgently!
What's wrong, Srini?
A tragedy is becoming. The assay office is aflame. She is burning with a might more severe. The pharmacy may be next alighted. Get dressed as soon as possible.
I am dressed. I don't own pajamas.
Take mine. No, wait. There is not time to perform such an effort. Just hurry and scheme in such a way so as to extinguish the most threatening fire.
No se nos acaban los problemas y ahora vamos a tener que hacer de bomberos. Así que nos vamos a salir de la farmacia, vamos a ver que ya es de noche, nos vamos a ir hacia la zona de la derecha y vamos a encontrar el correspondiente incendio que vamos a tener que intentar sofocar. Para ello vamos a utilizar los sacos de bicarbonato que habíamos conseguido.
Mind the store, won't you, Srini? I'm off to uphold justice and stuff.
Okie dokie.
The old abandoned assay office is ablaze, threatening to burn down not only itself and your pharmacy, but the whole...
Bien, lo que tenemos que hacer es primeramente coger los sacos de bicarbonato y ponerlos sobre el balancín. Y ahora tendremos que subirnos al tejado del colegio para poder saltar sobre el balancín y que los sacos salgan disparados hacia la zona donde se encuentra el suelo. Para ello nos subimos al columpio, nos damos impulso pulsando el propio Freddy y cuando se encuentre en la zona más cercana al tejado pulsamos sobre el tejado para que suba hacia arriba. Ojo, no hacerlo en otro momento porque se caerá y morirá.
Hey, be careful. It is the most solidly built structure in town, but that's not saying much.
Después de esto ya solo nos falta dejarnos caer sobre el balón.
Score! What pluck! What prowess! What a ridiculous solution. Still, you thought of it. You single-handedly quenched the flames of the assay office by using the seesaw as a catapult for the baking soda. Too bad nobody was here to see it. They'll never believe you in the morning.
Pues una vez más hemos rescatado al pueblo. Y Freddy decide que lo que va a hacer es ir a relajarse al burdel de Madame Bovary. Y lo que va a conseguir también es, al acercarse al burdel, escuchar una conversación que le va a dar pistas sobre todo este caso de misteriosos cierres de negocio y la relación que tienen el sheriff y el banquero al respecto. Así que nos vamos a ir a la zona donde se encuentra el burdel, que no es, digamos, no se ve a primera vista por dónde está. Tenemos que irnos aquí hacia la izquierda. Seguir avanzando hacia la izquierda y en la zona donde se encuentra el herrero nos podemos ir por la parte de abajo y eso nos va a llevar a la zona del burdel, justo en esta zona de aquí.
Here stands the only bank in town, the First Bank of Bob. The founder must have had a hard time coming up with an original name for his establishment.
The boss is more than a little upset. Seems that our friend has been thwarting every plan so far.
Yep, something's gotta be done about it.
Absolutely. Now, let's get down to business. What is the best way to get rid of our little problem permanently?
How about hanging?
Oh, too quick and merciless. Poison?
Nah, too unsure. Ancient Egyptian dagger.
I can't find mine. Got one on you?
Not at the moment. It don't matter how we do it, so long as we do it soon. And we don't want no proof it was us, neither. And nothing to connect it with the boss.
Excellent thought. And the boss has arranged for a bit of muscle to come in and make sure the entire town's cleaned out PDQ. We'll be rid of that do-gooder and all his flea-bitten friends in no time.
Laughing cruelly, they sit back to reflect on their villainy. Located on this rocky hillside is Madame Overy's place of business, a custom-built bawdy house built in the fashion of the pastel Gothics. Of course, they had to get the rocks off the property before they could build here. The wood on the outside of the brothel is chipped, rotting, and nearly useless. In other words, like some of the ladies inside, it's nearly ex-siding.
Pues ya nos hemos enterado de todos los tejemanejes, nos metemos dentro del burdel y dentro vamos a coger unas postales francesas que se encuentran encima de una mesita.
The wood.
Posteriormente ya podremos hablar con las distintas chicas que se encuentran dentro del burdel, oveja incluida, y finalmente irnos por la puerta de la izquierda para encontrarnos con Madame Bovary y terminar lo que sería este segundo acto.
A stack of naughty French postcards sits on the coffee table in order to titillate some of the less forward customers.
Score!
You snatch the French postcards.
Así que yo, como siempre, me despido hasta el siguiente vídeo de Insert Coin. ¡Hasta luego!
Howdy, Chastity.
Howdy to you, you big old sloppy hunk of manly macho woman-loving man.
Laying it on a little thick tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, business is slow, but I gotta keep in practice.
Evening, Purity.
Evening, Freddy, darling. Has Madam still got you under lock and key, or you gonna let us get a hold of you one of these days, big boy?
I'm afraid I'm all hers, for the time being.
Well, if you ever change your mind, honey, you know where to find us.
And when, and how often, and for how much. The plush wall.
Bah-ha-ha-ha-ha.
Translation. How much do you charge anyway? Translation. I'm sheep at twice the price.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Translation. Sounds like a deal. Translation. Yes, I cost next to mutton.
Howdy, Miss Virtue. You sure are a vision of loveliness.
Thank you ever so much, Freddy. And you, sir, are a study in buff.
What does that mean?
Just that you're the manliest prescription-filling man I did ever see.
Oh, thank you. Howdy, Chastity.
Howdy to you.
Laying it on a little thick.
Yeah.
It's the lovely and winsome Chastity, a girl who really knows her stuff. In fact, every man in town knows her stuff.
Ooh, Freddy, when you touch me, I get all weird inside.
Hope you mean it.
Hey, Mon Amour, it's about time you showed up. Ready to take my pharmacy bill out in trade?
Sure.
Then get over here before I have to come get you, little pumpkin. Freddy, I think you should leave.
Why, Sadie? Just because I'm using you for cheap, tawdry pleasure when my heart belongs to Penelope Prim, the gorgeous, young, obviously more virtuous new town schoolmarm?
What? Who?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying I think you should leave. Leave town, that is. Oh, it's so tragic. Freddy, there's just no easy way to say this. The girls say the sheriff and the banker talk in their sleep. They hate you, Freddy. They want you dead. They're out to get you. Something about you foiling the plan and how they had to get you out of the way. You have to run, Freddy. You have to get out of town by sundown.
Now, don't you worry, Sadie. I've been doing a pretty good job up till now. Using just my wits and my pharmacological knowledge, haven't I? I'm not gonna just turn tail and run and leave you and Penelope and Coarse Gold behind me to fend for yourselves.
You're not listening to me, Freddy Pharkas. There's man a-comin'. Man with guns. Big guns. Guns with long barrels. Long, hard barrels. Long, hard, steely barrels. And low-slung holsters and... Oh, sorry.
Sadie, snap out of it!
Oh, sorry. I was just visualizing. Anyway, you'll never be able to outthink men with guns. If you're set on staying in town, you'll have to, go back to your old ways.
That's out of the question. I left gunslinging behind me years ago. I'm not like that anymore, and I don't want to discuss it.
Stop it. You gotta choose, and that's all there is to it, hon. Either leave town and save your hide, or pull yourself together and face reality. Quit talking about potions and liniments. They're not gonna stop no bullets. It's time to get off of your cute little butt and give these men a taste of frontier justice. Now, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Hold me, Sadie. Press me to your ample bosom, and let me decide tomorrow.
You got it, hon.